Tracy Martin made around 5% return last month alone and another 5% this month as a beginner investor. How did she do it?
In May to December, I made 20% profit on the portfolio. And then this year to date, I've made 10%. So I've made 8,000 in 2 months this year.
In this video, Tracy reveals the exact investment strategy that took her from having very little knowledge to recently making over £10,000 in 1 year.
All my contrarian momentum trades, I've taken 5, 6, 7% every one.
Yeah.
And then I'll just wait for another drop.
Brilliant.
And reinvest. Successful people do the things and form the habits that unsuccessful people don't like to do. Once you take responsibility and accountability for where you are and for where you want to be, you need to map out a journey on how to get there.
Do you think that anyone can do this?
With the right mindset, absolutely.
So how do they get the right mindset?
I think it starts with your view on yourself and have a belief in yourself.
If something falls, how do you deal with that?
I think that's the main trick with trading and investing, is to manage the psychology and your emotions. If it falls a certain amount, I will buy more. And then that will bring down my average price.
Okay.
Or with VCA, you'll just invest more. If it goes up, then I'll make money. If it goes down, I'll buy more, and then I'll end up making more money in the long term.
Very coachable. So how are you finding the whole trading and investing thing? How are you finding it?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you?
Absolutely love it.
That's so good. Because people get like trading is like buy, sell, buy, sell. It's actually not like that at all, is it? Do you want to sit over there?
Here?
Yeah. So, what do you mean by you love it? What is it that you love about it?
Well, there's many things I love about it.
Okay.
I love making money.
Okay.
I love learning.
Yeah.
And there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been interested in trading and investing for a while, but not with any strategy, really.
By the way, do you prefer trading, like buying, selling, or do you prefer the investing, or kind of
trading?
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on, define trading. How would you define it?
Well, trading's more quick profits, buy, sell. Investing's a bit more longer term.
And what if I told you that, like, if you just wait and wait and wait and wait, you might even make more? But do you like the excitement of it?
I do.
Do you? Okay.
I like being a bit of a rebel sometimes.
Okay, so you're maybe a contrarian as well. Then you'd love our strategies, right? Because they go against the grain.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh. So tell me, how did you get into trading and investing? What were the motivations?
So I used to be a business planner for a property company. So my role was to do sort of strategic plans for people who had big portfolios.
Okay.
And one of my clients, we used to talk about more the holistic side of making money in property and stocks, crypto, etc. So he started talking about you, and he said, you've got to look into this guy. So so that's kind of where it started. So I started watching a few of your videos, and then
that didn't put you off.
And then over time, no, of course not. Over time I thought, well, yes, this all makes sense.
Okay.
There's a logic and a strategy behind it, and if I follow that, I can make it work.
Brilliant.
And also, it goes back to, if you're going to, if you want to be good at something and learn something, learn off someone who's done it and is successful.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. What just came up for me was, so because there are people that watch my videos and decide not to do it. And I honestly don't understand that, because it's just logical. And it's actually really simple once you know what you're doing, right? Like driving.
I guess that's the mindset, though, isn't it? So my mindset is, well, you can do it, so I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing I like doing. I like making money and I like learning. So this is something where I can do both and be trained by someone who knows what they're doing.
Fantastic. It's working out well. So tell me, the strategies that you do then, which one has been your most successful one?
Do you know, it varies. Last year it was breakout. This year so far, VCA.
Okay, tell us about the breakout strategy. What are the? I'm not testing you here, but what is the strategy?
Well, one's been more successful than the other. So one is more of a reversal breakout.
Okay.
So looking at different support resistant levels, and then looking at some kind of pattern to show that the trend is reversing.
Okay, so you're doing the reversals. Okay.
Yeah. The continuation is still something I'm working on, which is the stock is kind of breaking out to new levels.
You are a real contrarian, aren't you?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because in a way, it's, especially in the market that we're in, the kind of continuation makes more sense. But I'm also contrarian, but that's very interesting. Okay.
So slingshots worked really well for me this year.
What's that strategy?
Well, it's finding a trend in the market, then waiting for a retracement to a certain level and then getting in because you expect it to go back to the original
Brilliant.
levels. So
And these are trading strategies as opposed to investing because they have a stop loss.
correct, yeah.
And do you like that, the fact that they have a stop loss, or you don't really mind?
Well, yes, I do like it because you know where you stand. So you put the trade on, and if it's a losing trade, you know exactly what you're going to lose.
You're out. Yeah, you know
And you're
exactly. 1% of your entire portfolio. That's it. But you're looking to make a lot more, right?
Looking to make 3%, yeah.
Yeah, at least. So how are you finding the letting your profits run? Because there's only 2 golden rules. And that's an important one. Well, there's only 2, they're both important. But what I mean is, are you letting them run, or?
That's something I need to work on a little bit more.
Yeah. Because all you need is one real winner. That goes up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because remember, it's 1% of your portfolio loss. Therefore, every percentage gain is also going to be on your entire portfolio. So that's another 1%, another 1%, or another 1%. Yeah. So from the mindset, we'll come on to that in a moment. From a mindset point of view, how are you finding letting your profits run?
It's a challenge for me, really, because when it goes up 2%, I'm like, I don't want to lose 1% by putting the stop loss in at 1%. So, I mean, I've had a few 3, 4, 5%, but it's something I need to work on for sure.
Well, what about the contrarian momentum then? Because that's more 5%. So maybe that's more something.
What do you mean?
Well, on the crypto, so we're looking for 5% on the contrarian momentum. So maybe that will get you more into the habit of, going to the 5%.
Yeah, well, all my contrarian momentum trades, I've taken 5, 6, 7% every one.
Yeah.
And then I'll just wait for another drop.
Brilliant.
And reinvest.
Are there any coins that you've been in where you just, it's like, what's it, Head and Shoulders? You just basically, you do it, don't rinse, repeat, do it, rinse, repeat. Because there have been some.
What cryptos are?
Any really.
More so with VCA, with like Coinbase.
Coinbase, that's what I was
Mara's
thinking.
another one I've been in a couple of times.
So tell us about that. So what do you do? Let's take Coinbase as an example. So what did you do?
So I would wait for a pullback of 20%, then I'd invest money in, and then when it got to 15%, I'd move my stop loss to 10%, 20% profit, I'd move my stop loss to 15%. When I get taken out, I then wait for another drop of 20%.
So that's how you manage to make 40% plus by just raising your stop loss but letting it go. So you do follow the rule of letting your profits
VCA
run.
more so,
VCA,
yeah.
Yeah, because it's slower and
Yeah, so
okay.
that's mastered.
And how many times have you done that then on Coinbase, for example?
I think maybe 4 or 5 times.
Rinse, repeat, repeat, 4 times. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You gonna do it again?
Yeah. I think I closed out a couple of days ago on Coinbase. So yeah.
What percentage did you make there?
15, I think it was.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah. That's and actually, what people don't like about the stock market is what I love about the stock market, which is that it goes up and down.
Well, that's how you make money, right?
Exactly. I wish people would understand that. Would you say it's simple, easy, difficult?
Well, it's simple but not easy because your emotions can mess with you a little bit. So I mean, I think that's the main trick with trading and investing, is to manage the psychology and your emotions.
So we talk about that? Let's talk about the mindset, because I think that 80% is actually mindset. The skills you can learn, right? So you would agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's anyone can learn the strategies. Yeah, but it's then being able to implement it and manage the mind when you can see such a drop in your profit sometimes.
Okay, so tell us about that. So have you seen a big drop in
So crypto, for example, I invested quite heavily into crypto before joining you.
Okay.
So that was at the peak. So I was probably down maybe 60%, 70%.
So you put money in before us at the peak?
Yeah.
Okay. That's sorry, but it was such a classic. But okay, all right, fine. But and then it went down.
So you can imagine you've got significant funds in something and it goes down, I think, about 70%.
Lovely.
So you've got to have a pretty strong stomach to deal with that.
Didn't put you off?
Well, no, because I believe in the long-term future of crypto. Right. And then obviously I joined you, so that gave me confidence that, invest more. Now's a good time.
But that's very interesting, because you weren't just in it for a quick buck. You actually believe in the underlying asset class. That's really interesting. In fact, that's the only way to do it. But most people don't, you know. So they say that 90% of beginners lose 90% of their portfolio within 90 days because they're just going to open a spread betting account and get leverage and, you know, and become rich. Yeah, not quite. You do need a strategy. So how did you react to that? So, but you didn't have a strategy back then, did you?
No.
Okay. So how did you react when it went down 60%, 70% without a strategy?
Well, it's quite hard to stomach losing that amount of money, but I thought eventually my mind went around thinking it's going to go up, so I just need to not sell and hold on to it.
Did it all go up?
It's gone up. So since I think since May last year, it's gone up. Not back to where it was, but it's gone up. So I'm maybe like 10% below now where I was.
But if you would have used our strategies, you'd be up on all of those. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
So the plan now is just to, you know, hold on to it, wait for the bull run to kick in.
Yeah.
And then? Well, then I will take profit in line with what you tell me.
Okay. I think we're mooing again. Okay. So now though that you have a strategy, how do you deal with the mindset then? Like, if something falls, how do you deal with that?
If it falls a certain amount, I will buy more. And then that will bring down my average price.
Okay, that's true, but that is true. And I think I know the answer, but okay, so if it keeps going down, what's the most you've gone into something? How many times?
About 8.
8 times? Okay, and you didn't panic?
No.
No, come on.
No.
No, come on.
No, I didn't.
No, not panic, all right, but did you at least have a nervous moment?
Yes, of course. But then you've got to believe in the strategy.
Yeah.
And also, things don't always work out. So you've kind of got to have the mentality of some you win, some you lose, right? This is great. I mean, you're going to be so successful. I mean, amazing. Okay. So what was that on, by the way, where you went in 8 times? I think it's probably Zoom, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still down on that one, but you know, I'm holding on to it. Will it go back up? Maybe. Will it not?
There are
and it kind of doesn't matter almost.
Yeah, it almost doesn't matter. I understand what you mean. The maximum you can lose on something is 100%, but you make thousands of percent. So that's what I love about it as well. Okay, very good. So in terms of how do you handle making, I know it's a silly question, but 40% profit? How do you handle that?
Well, that's a good thing, right?
It is, but what if something goes up really fast and then it's like, do you always follow the rules, or do you sometimes go, and then you go, oh, why did I do that?
I tend to follow the rules, but with
I thought you were contrarian.
With VCA, I will follow it and I'll move my stop loss 5%.
Okay.
So pretty much always. Yeah. With my crypto, I'm just not taking any profits on those right now. I'm just letting those run.
Because you know the bull market is okay.
Yeah.
But otherwise you would follow the rules, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Of course.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So listen, what we should really talk about is, you know, how much money you started off with, where you are now, and the profits that you've made, etc.
Okay. So I joined gold in May last year, and so May to December I made 20% profit on the portfolio. The
entire portfolio?
Not including cryptos.
No. Okay,
so
great.
just VCA and stocks trading.
Okay.
And then this year to date, I've made 10%. So I've made 8,000 in 2 months this year.
Wonderful.
So
are you saying that, so how much did you make in January?
5%.
5%, around 5%. And then in February?
5%.
5%.
There or thereabouts,
exactly?
really.
Okay, I was going to say.
There or thereabouts.
Okay, and doing the same strategy? Really?
Well, doing all the strategies, VCA, slingshot, buffalo, breakout.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great.
Do you? There's nothing in there that says this is unbelievable, it's not going to continue?
No, my goal now is to be consistent and then scale up.
That's it. And this is actually incredibly scalable. So it doesn't matter whether you have 30,000, 300,000, 3 million, it is very scalable. Once you start getting into the billions, it's not so scalable, right? Because Warren Buffett's biggest problem is he has too much money to buy entire companies. Brilliant. So what would you say to somebody who is kind of starting out? We'd love to hear. Do you have any pro tips? I mean, you are a bit of a pro now.
Well, thank you.
What would you say?
Well, I got taught a long time ago that, you know, there's a common denominator to being successful. And it was successful people do the things and form the habits that unsuccessful people don't like to do. So if you want to do something well, you've got to not be normal. You've got to do something a little bit different. So you've got to, you know, turn up on a 3-day stocks course on a weekend, or, you know, a webinar 7 o'clock at night. So you've got to go above and beyond. So coupled with that, it's about taking responsibility for yourself. You know, we are where we are because of us, not anyone else. And once you take responsibility and accountability for where you are and for where you want to be, you need to map out a journey on how to get there. But it's down to me, it's down to you, it's down to each individual to get to where they want to be.
Do you think that anyone can do this?
With the right mindset, absolutely.
So how do they get the right mindset?
I think it starts with your view on yourself. You know, you have to really like yourself and have a belief in yourself. It's kind of that self-esteem. So when I started, without having learnt anything, I knew I could make it work. And that was just my sort of unwavering belief that I can make this work because others have.
I wish more people would believe that. They just don't believe in themselves.
And it comes down to, as well, what you tell yourself. So it's like that sort of positive self-talk.
Do you have that? I mean, do you mean unconsciously, or you consciously do that? Do you consciously do that?
Well, years ago, I worked for an American sales company, so I worked on 100% commission sales for 10 years. So you have to have the right mindset to earn money and to, have that belief in yourself. So I got trained on, positive self-talk. What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself you're good at something, or are you telling yourself, oh, I'm rubbish at this, this isn't going to work? And then it kind of filters through, so you start to believe what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
And it's that belief, that expectation. So I expect to make at least 5% a month. No matter what, that's what I expect.
Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Sometimes more,
it's going to be an average, right?
Yeah, and
But what about if the market is going down? What happens then?
Well, you can short the market.
I was waiting for that.
Absolutely,
you can short the market.
Or with VCA, you'll just invest more, and then like this month, VCA has been really successful for me because I'm reaping the rewards to the sort of downturn that happened previously.
That's
so
right.
Now the profits are coming in.
I have a trick question for you. Damn it! I wish I hadn't just said that. I should have just asked you the question. My question is, do you want Bitcoin to go up to $250,000 per Bitcoin right now?
I'd rather it goes to $1 million.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, you came up with something totally different. Do you want it to go up?
It doesn't matter to me. If it goes up, then I'll make money. If it goes down, I'll buy more, and then I'll end up making more money in the long term.
You're very coachable, aren't you? Because you're basically, wow, that's really good. You're going to be very successful.
Well, you're successful. I'm learning off you, right? That's the secret.
Well, you're just doing what we do.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love that. So how do you think that you are going to be able to even, because it's great, 5% a month, but what about 5.5? What about 6? So how are you, or what are you doing to keep pushing the envelope?
I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly working on mindset. So on the way down today, it's interesting because when I reviewed my Audible catalogue library, if you like, and I must have about 150 books in there, and 3 of them are like storybooks, and all the rest are self-help, mindset, property books.
Of one.
So on the way down, I was listening to Brian Tracy, Million Dollar Habits, I think it was. So wherever I'm driving or out for a walk, I've always got some form of self-help development learning book that I'm listening to, because you can never learn enough.
Yeah, Zig Ziglar used to say, you've got to turn your automobile into like a university, like a traveling university. And I think Brian Tracy, he talks about, I can't remember, it was something really huge, like you've got to put 10 to 20% of everything that you earn into yourself so that you can grow, so you can earn even more. Most people wouldn't do that.
And that's down to you as well. It's your own responsibility to do that.
Yeah.
Because you leave school and go to university, whatever, and then that's it. Unless you
But
do
not
it
with
yourself.
you keep learning. Do people ever judge you for that? Do they go, oh, here she goes again? She's
Yeah.
done it. Do they?
Yeah, why don't you relax? Why don't you just watch a bit of telly or
Yeah,
whatever?
what do you think about that? Do you think you should relax a bit?
Yeah, definitely.
You agree with them?
It's important to have a balance, but it's kind of, for me, I have to put the work in to sort of earn the right to relax, if you like.
But do you then ever relax? Yeah. Yeah. For other people, though, it might not be relaxing. Like, for example, Donald Trump, they say, oh, Donald, you're always working 16 hours a day and whatever. And he just looks at them and says, but it's not work. I enjoy what I do. So it's an interesting, right? Is that very American, do you think?
Probably, yeah. So that brings me back to, how I was coached back in the day is, you've got to love what you do. And yeah, it's all about self-growth as well, so which I love. I love learning and I love achieving. So, and that's why I love trading, because it kind of combines everything, coupled with I can do it anywhere.
And it gives you, I love properties as well and other things, but it does take a little bit of time before you see the results. Whereas with trading and investing, especially trading, honestly, you get feedback immediately. Are you doing well or not? Sometimes it's the market, right? But sometimes not. Okay, so do you think, what would be your message to anybody listening to this? They're kind of thinking about, should I do this, should I not? I personally think that it's just another pillar that you need to add to hold up your financial freedom structure. And it's the one that, most people in the city don't want you to know about because they're making billions off us because we don't know what to do. What would be your message to those people who are kind of thinking about it?
I think you have to want to do it. So you have to want to change your financial situation. You have to have the desire to, first off, put the work in, because it's not like you will sign up for your course and then, I'm a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. You've got to put the work in. So if someone is prepared to put the work in and to really, I'm here and I want to get to here, then this is a great way to do it.
You just said something, right? Which made me think, do you think that most people would put in the work if they knew it would succeed? Or do you think most people don't really want it?
I think most people wouldn't want it.
Really?
Yeah.
You could be right.
I think a lot of people are just quite happy in their, I guess, it's a bit out of the box, isn't it? Just to be a little bit different and to go the extra mile. And I think,
so you mean it's the herd mentality? I don't want to be different to everybody else because then I'll be ostracized. Is that coming back in the playground?
It's like the being normal bit.
You want to be part of, you don't want to be away.
It's different. That's what I think.
Really? Those rich people?
Those rich people over there.
Over there. Not like, I can be one of them. Do you want to be rich? You might already be, I don't know, but is that a thing you've always wanted?
Yeah, so from when I was 20, I can remember I was at university in my squalid little flat, and it was a 3-story house, and the landlady lived downstairs and controlled the heating, which she never put on, so we were freezing. And I can remember counting up, there was 8 of us in total, counting up all the money in rent that we'd paid her. And I thought, she doesn't work, she lives downstairs without putting the heating on for us. So I worked out how much money she got from us and how much it would cost her to buy the house. And I thought, I want some of that. So that sort of inspired me to build my own property portfolio. And I've always worked in quite good corporate positions. But my aim was always to not work, so to build up my property business, to not work.
To not work, or to have the choice of not working?
To have the choice of not working. So a few years ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to fire my boss, if you like, and so run my property portfolio. But I always wanted to be rich or have enough money so that I would have freedom of choice.
It's interesting when you say that, right? Because when you say to be rich, and then when people hear that, there's a reaction. But if you say, I just want money to have freedom of choice, people go, It's the same thing, right? But the words are powerful.
Well, yeah. And I got to that position and then realised that's not that's not enough. For me, it then became more about having a purpose, having something that I could strive for, learning, achieving. And that's what this has given me, is that ability to continue to strive and get financial freedom, and have the choice, but also to satisfy the other side of me, that is the sort of learning, the education, the self-development, the growth.
But what if people don't want to learn and grow and educate because they're just not in the habit of doing that? You know, you say yourself school or whatever, and that's it. But that can't be it. We're always growing, right?
Well, everyone's different. Everyone wants different things, don't they?
Yeah, but then why do they complain that they don't have enough money then?
Well, I think that's a human reaction.
Okay.
Most people don't take responsibility and they complain. You look on social media, no one takes responsibility. They're always blaming other people.
By the way, do you teach anybody else? Like, do you have family that you teach or anything like that? No.
No.
Not interested?
Well, I think a lot of people, they almost don't want this, kind of like, well, that's not my thing. That's
not my thing.
So, yeah, that's what I found. Or it's that mentality of, you know, because they might see me, if I talk and go, oh, I've just lost, you know, £1,000 on that.
Oh, they'll jump on that. They'll absolutely jump on that.
That's
I
not gonna
told
work
you.
now.
Yeah. So, but I also made £8,000. I know I lost 1,000, but I made 8,000.
And people are happy in the mediocrity of life sometimes.
I get that sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, there you have it. Tracy's journey to making 5% one month, 5% another month. So, what's the biggest takeaway from this interview? Share your thoughts below.